Hi my rays of light, and welcome back to my channel. This is Psychic Medium Raymond Guzman, and today I'm going to be doing a psychic reading on Miss Janet Jackson. I absolutely am a big fan of Janet, and this has been a video that a lot of you have requested for me to do. So I'm going to go ahead and get into it and tell you what I see for her, what's coming up for her, and everything about that. I also wanted to take some time on this video before I get to Janet to say some things, let's chat. So basically this week I have received some numerous validations, and I'm not bringing them up to brag, but to really, for a lot of people that are new to my channel that have asked, things that I've been seeing comments under my videos here on YouTube. Regarding the earthquakes. I had some guys say, well, you did it on the 6th, where's the prediction at, because you did it on July 6th, and that was the same day that the earthquake happened. But a lot of people don't realize that, that have seen that video, that I did that video hours before the actual earthquake, and all of my rays of light and people on my page or my YouTube channel can attest to that, and it's been there before that. Also, I had predicted some things. If you go back to the last video, the first video that I did, you can see that there. But there's a lot of validations. I'm not trying to really explain anything to anyone, but just so a lot of you that are new, because our channel is growing, and I'm so happy for that. Also wanted to talk about some validations with Lady Gaga and her House of Gaga Laboratories, her new makeup line. I had done a video for her back in May of 2018, I believe, and in the video I had stated that I did see that she would actually come out with her own makeup line, and here we are today. Like this week she announced on Instagram and posted a lot of pics, as well as like a snippet or a trailer of her new makeup collection that is coming out. So I'm very excited to see. I'm a big Gaga fan as well, to see what else she comes out with. And I had some people tag me about R. Kelly and what had happened. What has happened, that there's people that have come forward now supposedly with videotapes, like 19 or 20 videotapes, and they've turned them into the FBI or whatnot. So there's validation there, because in the original video that I did with R. Kelly, one of the videos they tried to silence by not monetizing, they found it so controversial. Basically, that was one of the videos that I stated that I saw that this time he wouldn't be getting away with it at all. So that one was validated as well this week. And then the other one, let me see, I'm trying to remember here off the tip of my head, because there's just so many things going on. The other one was, yes, Hurricane Barry, or Tropical Storm Barry, there in the Louisiana coast, and it was one that I had predicted, made my predictions, and a lot of people were like, well, where are your predictions? Where can we find them? You can find them on my website. It's under the predictions, and some of them have come to pass. Some of them, are maybe, like I said, free will changes things, and outcomes in the world change things for those that haven't come to pass. But many of them have, and especially I was very specific with that prediction that it would hit a tropical storm or hurricane because I felt like it would convert into a hurricane, would hit between, New Orleans and that area where Katrina had hit before, and it would hit Louisiana, and sure enough, it did, So just things to see, and I just feel validated myself that, I'm not crazy when these events come to pass. And so it's validation that my spirit guides are on point, and I'm just so happy for that. I am giving away also butterfly labradorite pendant. If you have not yet subscribed to my website, you may need to go to my website so you can subscribe there, and that way you can be notified of any new things that I have, or giveaways, because I have some giveaways specific to clients. If I've read for you, I'm giving away one psychic reading to one person, as well as that pendant on my, and this is again for my clients that have had a reading by me. You can submit a written testimonial to be entered into that giveaway. It runs through the whole month of July, or if you want to do a video testimonial, that is going to be accounting as almost 2 entries, and you can email that to me, or if you have Dropbox, you can send that to me as well, if you have those as well. So I want to thank you so much. Let's get into Miss Janet Jackson. So what is going on with Janet? I've always loved her on Good Times, or all those other shows that she was on. Let me just go ahead and pull her picture up, because I actually read off of her energy. So let me find a good picture of Miss Janet, and that's how you know this is live, because well, not live, but pre-recorded, but I'm doing it as I speak here. Where is Janet? I'm trying to find a picture of her. Okay, found her. Alright, and a lot of people are wanting to know, like, what's going on with her, because she's been very silent throughout all of this. She's been on Good Times, the Poetic Justice, Different Strokes, for those of you that haven't been aware, but yeah. So I am going to tell you exactly what I see for her. I feel like, overall she's in a very good place right now in her life with, having this child that a lot of people have speculated is not hers. She's used a surrogate, whatever the situation is, it is her child. That is her child. We're not here to question Miss Jackson and anything of that. I'm not here to talk about that, but just to say that she's such a beautiful soul, and I see so many good things around her after so much turmoil and things that have happened because of these leeches that have accused her brother of doing all of these criminal things, and her having to deal with all of that as a sibling that is still alive. You know how that is when people, especially these large Christian groups that believe that he is guilty, etc., or any person, they go after the siblings and attack them. It's typical of bullies out there. And so I feel like Janet has had to go through all of this, and mentally it has been taxing on her, on their mom Catherine and LaToya, and all the brothers that are still alive. All the family members have been affected in some way, including Michael Jackson's children. So it's just so disturbing that people are ruthless and would do that to the family. But this is the times that we live in, and unfortunately I feel like she has kind of backed away from music. It's not optimal time for her. I'll explain it this way. When you're a celebrity or an artist and you have someone in your family going through a scandal, some people think it's good publicity, but really and truly it's not a good time to kind of put out new music, because again, there's going to be backlash, there's going to be more scrutiny, and people are not really going to be paying attention to your music when there's a big scandal going on. So I feel like it's very strategic. She hasn't dropped an album in quite some time. It's been a while, so I do feel like she's definitely in the works, and her creative juices are going, and we will see an album either next year or the following year. But I feel like there is definitely an album coming from her. When I do tune into her soul, I do not feel like the scandals are over yet with the Jackson family. There are going to be more scandals coming out, and I feel like this may be centered around Michael and also a brother as well in the family. But I feel like it's ongoing. People are always targeting the Jacksons for whatever reason, and so I see scandals coming up within the next few months, and again, this is going to be like it's never ending, and it's I feel like it's as long as the Jackson legacy lives, the bloodline, there's always going to be people who want to bring them down and cause all this drama, etc. With her, I feel her as a very spiritual person. I see her very open and trying to tackle her emotions. It's not easy because again, she misses her father, she misses her brother, she misses the unity that the family has had, because the family dynamic is not like it used to be. And she's always been that person to kind of bring comfort and happiness. Like wherever she goes, she brightens up a room. That's kind of like the energy that is coming up around her. I also feel like she is looking at things right now from a different angle, different perspective, and things are making a little bit more sense to her as far as like validations that she has been wondering about, whether she's been making the right decisions, whether she should have said something sooner, and also there's something about her fearing death, fearing, you know, since there's been a lot of people passing in her family, you know, over the last couple of years, you know, she does think about death. And even though I feel like she is pretty solid on it and she knows that our soul is eternal, I feel like, you know, that's a question that is on her mind. Like, she thinks, could she possibly lose somebody else? And I don't feel like she's in a good spot right now. If that was to ever happen, you know, God forbid anything like that would ever happen. But I don't feel like she would be able to cope with something like that right now, because again, she's in a good place and she's focusing on the good things. She's very much an empath. I feel like she's very sensitive to what people write and say about, you know, her family and herself. But people see her vibration, and it's a high vibration, and things, you know, she has so many plans. I see her traveling. There's something about traveling to like Jerusalem or Israel, in that area of Africa, the Middle East. I don't know if she's going to be traveling that way, but I do see travels for her. I do see her very busy in her creative juices, and like I said, just getting things going. She's wanting to develop things, so I feel like she is building her own empire as well. You know, she's still young. She's like in her 50s, so she's still young and can, you know, really continue to extend her empire, etc. So something comes in with clothing. I don't know if she's working with that. Also possibly even in the beauty world. It seems like a lot of people are working now in the beauty world, etc. But there's something about that there. I also feel like she may come back to TV. There is something about her guest starring or appearing in some kind of TV show, I feel like, or a movie possibly as well. But she's coming back to the large screens, to TV or film. I see that for her, and it's like people are pushing her. I feel like she has a good advice, a good group of advisors and people that have her back, and they're kind of pushing her to get to that. But I feel like, again, with all the things that have gone on, she wants to focus now on her child, and, you know, kind of focusing all her love and energy on that. Having a child in her arms and just being a mother has kind of like opened her up, and she's blossomed into and she's found healing through that child. That's what I get from Spirit, some healing that otherwise she would not have felt at all. And I feel like she feels like her brother's soul is somehow in that child, as weird as that sounds. You know, I see Michael around that child, and I see him around Janet, and I feel like she does get signs and validations that he is around her. This could be songs. I see her looking at video clips. I see visions of that when I'm doing this reading. So she would be connecting to Michael's soul and spirit, and also her father. But her father, I don't feel like very much like he wants to talk or he wants to come around. I feel like he's more isolated. He is sorry. I don't know if that will make sense to Janet if she happens to see this, or somebody in the family or the team, but he does say that he is sorry for the things that he did and said, and so I don't know if there was like this rift. Even though Janet loved her father and loved Michael, there was this rift between her and her father as well. Maybe this could have been some of, you know, his decisions regarding her career early on in, you know, in life, etc. I don't know, but that is what is coming through from Spirit. I see her also focusing and thinking about love. Like, is she going to, people want to know, is she going to get married again? Is she going to have a solid partner in her life? At this point in her life, I feel like she's done that. She's been most of her life with, you know, men, not, and I don't mean that in a negative manner, but meaning like she's had a partner, or she's had someone, you know, that romance her, she's had boyfriends, etc., which is typical. And I think with wisdom and age, she's evolved into a very much an old soul, a very powerful soul, and so she doesn't need necessarily someone in her life to complete her, and I feel like she's going to pour all of her love into her child and raising that child. But I feel like, you know, she also does think about, will she ever meet someone ever again? And the answer to that is yes. There is definitely someone coming in for her. I do feel like this male would be someone younger than her. He is Caucasian or light skin. He has dark hair. As far as her ex, or the father of this child supposedly, I don't know what nationality, I think he's Middle Eastern, but whatever that is, Spirit is saying that he still has feelings for her, even though they are no longer together. So I don't know if he's like made contact with her, or he wants to be in that child's life, but there is something about him having feelings for her, and that's what comes through from Spirit. So again, I feel like there could be something there between them that is kind of like resuscitating or reconciling, you know, but being amicable. But I really don't feel like she wants to go back to that, but he's very convincing in some ways. But there is definitely someone else coming in. I see her creating her own magic, whatever, you know, that means from Spirit. Only she would understand, meaning that she is kind of like, she's connected to her inner child. She's done a lot of healing and releasing, and so now she's ready to, like I said, focus on her career again, and all this creative magic and things around her she's manifesting, and it's something that is coming to fruition. At some point in her life, there will be like a docu-series or like a biography movie that's done on her life. Though, like I said, in the family picture, I see right now that there is going to be some drama. The drama in, unfortunately, this could be someone getting caught doing something, you know, they're not supposed to, or they say something and it's just misconstrued. But I do feel and do see that there is some drama in the family that is coming up. In her family life, she may be feeling kind of shaken, but usually when there is kind of some issues in the family, it does bring new beginnings and kind of bring some healing. So that's something to watch there. This is a time for her, Spirit is saying, for her to kind of look at the you know, things that are outstanding. Like, I feel like she starts projects but she doesn't finish them, because again, she's a perfectionist, and she wants to, you know, kind of get these things done in a certain order. She's very meticulous about that. But Spirit is telling her it's the time now to finish these projects. I feel like she has different things. This could be about music. Like I said, she could have an album already fully recorded and ready to go, but for the public, but we won't know until she actually releases it. But I do see that as well. There is a lot of traveling for her from, you know, here in the US. I feel like she will be traveling to different cities. This could be touring of some sort. Like I said, when I do these readings, I don't keep up with a lot of these people at all. So when I do these readings, I really don't know. I have to trust what Spirit is saying. But they keep showing me like touring, her moving around, visiting other people, friends. She has a lot of people that look up to her in many ways, but I feel like she's so humble that she just wants to be like everybody's sister, you know, and help them in some kind of way. There's a lot of envy from a female that doesn't like Janet. I don't know who this is. This is a much, I want to say this is an older lady. It's so weird the way this is coming through. This could be someone in the fashion world, in the entertainment world, someone that has power. I feel like this is a white lady. This is a Caucasian female. I would say she is in her 60s, 70s. I don't know how this plays out or what she would have to do with Janet's business dealings, etc. She could be like the wife of maybe some executive or someone that, you know, Janet knows in the business. But this lady is scheming something. She is kind of working on doing something, you know, to hurt Janet in some kind of way. And it's just so odd. I'm not saying this to create any kind of fear if Janet happens to listen to this video, but that's what's like coming through from Spirit. And I have to say what is coming through, what I honestly feel and see. So I feel like Janet is very much like intuitive, so she will know, you know, who to trust, who not to trust in that area. But I feel like even though she may not directly, you know, interact with this person is spreading rumors or saying something, trying to like close a business deal or stop a business deal from happening. That's kind of like what I just heard Spirit say, stopping a business deal from happening that she has in the works, and Janet has her heart and soul set on it. So if she gets any kind of rejection or pushback on this would be the reason why. This person doesn't like her, she's jealous, and I also feel she doesn't like the family at all. She never liked Michael. She feels, you know, she has her own viewpoints, etc. And she's just an awful, rotten soul. And I hate to say it that way because I don't want to be disrespectful, especially to anyone that's older than me. but she's a rotten soul, this woman, this Caucasian female that's elderly. And so it's just very sad, but I see Janet kind of like needing to take a risk or a leap of faith, moving forward in her projects and her career, and again, not worry about backlash, etc., because again, she's so loved, and I feel like she does realize it, but it kind of paralyzes her to think that there's so many people wanting her, but so many people want her to come back and be more present at events, music, you know, create new music videos. It's not about the numbers anymore. That's what Michael is saying. That's the message for her. He says, sis, this is not about the numbers. And only she would know about that. I don't know if she'll know or she'll understand that message. But it's not about the numbers. It's about you overcoming your fears and being fearless like I was, to live your life in front of the camera, with, you know, and just loving the people around you. You're so loved. That's what he says. So again, I feel like this is the messages that she is getting for herself, to not feel, because I feel like she's so conscious about her body image. She's still conscious about, or insecure about her body, whether people are going to accept her at this age. But then you have people like Madonna, who is much older than Janet, or, you know, in that same category, but, you know, Madonna is still being successful. And so if Madonna can do it, you know, and I hate to compare the two at all, but I'm just using that as a reference point. You know, Janet is one of those icons. She's one of those legends, and she can still do it. It's just a matter of her getting her inner strength and, you know, going forward with her project. So that's a psychic reading on Janet Jackson. I want to thank everyone, all of my rays of light, for tuning in. Like I said, for those of you that didn't listen to this, I will be announcing the giveaway here on my YouTube community page, the winner of the pendant and the reading. So stay tuned for that tonight. And also I will be going live sometime soon, very soon, maybe this week, and doing a meet and greet with a lot of you out there. So that's very exciting. And don't forget to look at my website, the shop section, if you want to schedule a private reading with me. I also have a lot of jewelry pendants, new ones that came out today, and also like a notepad that's autographed. And then for those of you that are tuning in, if you haven't picked up my book, Starseed Footsteps, a lot of the questions that you've asked about spiritual things in nature, topics about dead, you know, magic, etc., a lot of that's answered in this book, Starseed Footsteps. You can get it on Amazon or Barnes & Noble, but if you want the autographed copy, you can get it off of my website. Blessings and love and light. Have an amazing, amazing day.